Welcome to Every Animal Has an Owner, a mostly large animal podcast for veterinarians and the people that depend on them.
So most traditional inactivated vaccines use the entire virus, and the majority of that virus is not needed for the immune system to neutralize it. Using coronaviruses again as the example, you really only need antibodies to the receptor binding domain of the spike protein. So the spike is a fraction of the virus, and the receptor binding domain is a fraction of the spike protein. And you really only need antibodies to less than 1% of coronavirus to be able to neutralize the virus. So with our system, that's what we put into our construct is the gene of interest, which is the spike protein, and we focus on the receptor binding domain to make sure that it is properly structured so that we get a neutralizing antibody response to the very small portion of the virus that you need an antibody response to neutralize it. As compared to the industry standard of whole viral vaccines, there's a lot of proteins in whole viral vaccines that are unnecessary. And in some cases, they work as decoys, or they end up being the part of the virus that the animal elicits an immune response to, but isn't necessarily the piece that's important for viral neutralization. So with the benefit of genomics and epitope homology and the use of AI, if you will, in determining what's needed in our vaccine, we're able to really focus and get down to the proteins that are needed to create a virus neutralizing antibody response without having all of the other decoys and unnecessary proteins in the vaccine. Medgene has a whole library of constructs that we've created for a multitude of infectious diseases, viral diseases in cattle and swine. And we do that by identifying the gene of interest for the target protein in each of those viruses, insert that gene of interest into our one virus that we grow, which is a baculovirus, and we get the baculovirus to express a lot of the protein from the gene of interest. And we then focus on quantifying that protein, the one protein that's needed for an immune response, for a protective immune response. And we produce our vaccines from those constructs, putting in large amounts of the target protein of the infectious agent, because baculovirus does a great job of producing those proteins in large amounts. And so you really get a focused immune response to the target, and it's easy to put sufficient amount of the target protein in your vaccine. The safety profile that you get with a baculovirus construct is exceptional in the sense that because it's an insect virus, you don't see any negative effects in mammals when vaccinated. It's a very safe host virus. And when that host virus is carrying the gene of interest for something that is infectious and dangerous to mammals, you get a really targeted immune response, and it's very safe and very effective.